the market is becoming more and more polarized. So you've got the theatrical level films that are, really easily identifiable theatrical propositions, and those can go at higher budgets, and that's what the industry is looking for at the moment. Or you have the very low-end, low-budget or micro-budget VOD title, because in between, the decline of the DVD market, in between there is no room for anything at the moment. Unless it transforms spectacularly and you can have a bet on that and it becomes theatrical one, or it doesn't succeed, and then your investors are going to lose money. So that's really the drifts that there is in the industry at the moment. There is still very much an appetite for every kind of films. It depends on which territory. You need to know who your audience is. That's very important. But I find that more and more the industry is driven by the TV market. Of course, the SVOD and the bigger players like Netflix and Amazon, although they tend to buy less and less, so it's not actually really helpful. But it's incredibly TV driven now, and risk adverse as well. So a film that is a little bit complicated, and if it doesn't have a potential to succeed on the festival circuit, is going to be an incredibly hard sell. I think you need to have a sales agent on board. That's not because I'm a sales agent, but because it's absolutely crucial to actually know the potential of your film. Also, depending on the film, certain markets are better to launch a film than others. Genre market, genre films, for example, do usually better if you bring them to AFM. Theatrical high-end films do better if you bring them to Toronto or Berlin. Cannes is a little bit a home for everything. But what I would advise them is do not wait for your film to go all around the world in the festivals to start selling it. Because as soon as a film is completed, for me it's already 1 year old and nobody has seen it yet. Because buyers acquire for a year and a half in advance. So if you wait for the film to go around the world for a year and a half, then that's it, your film is catalogue, although no one has seen it yet. And they tend to forget that. So we need to start selling the film in conjunction with the festival strategy.
The market changes all the time. Who's hot, who's not, who the players are, what's working, what's not, changes constantly. And so you have to be up to the minute. You have a certain knowledge and experience, but that doesn't mean anything if you get stuck in that. This is how it is. You can't be rigid. You have to be fluid.
The package has to be almost perfect. You have to have stars. You have to have a very experienced director. You have to have an underlying brand within the film package itself. And then you can do the business. But otherwise, a lot of the films that we've worked on recently have been financed in sort of more non-traditional ways. And we've been doing a lot of completed film sales rather than pre-sales, which was always our bread and butter for years. We work, from what we would call big budget, which is a sort of $10 million range. That's the bigger budget space that we work in, through to low budget feature films and event documentaries. This year, for us in particular, we've had a very successful year of A-list festival attendance and awards over a cross-section of our films. But that doesn't necessarily lead to enormous commercial success. I think that we need those types of events to give our films some sort of foundation from which we can sell them, particularly if they don't have particularly strong cast attached. But there's no guarantee.